Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
We're tracking some rain showers right away this morning. They will clear out, though, expecting to see some sunshine as we head into the afternoon with some warmer temperatures on tap for Tuesday or cooler Thursday. It's a bit of a temperature roller coaster this week, but I want to talk about some of these showers that we're seeing there work through right away this morning into the early afternoon hours, lingering a bit longer for areas such as Bluefield, but there too should clear out and see sunshine by the afternoon. Then overnight tonight, spotty shower or two possible, clearing out by Tuesday morning. Should see plenty of sunshine throughout the course of the day. On Tuesday, going to be a nice day with accumulations from these showers that we'll see through 7 p.m. Wednesday, looking to stay, generally speaking, fairly light. Quick peek at your Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. We're watching for some unsettled conditions across Florida, not only for the day today, but as we head into midweek as well. But for us, those unsettled conditions are going to clear out quickly as we take a look at your Panhandle to Panhandle forecast, expecting to see sunshine. We're looking at a high temperature of 65 degrees in Wellsburg as we head into the day today with those sunny skies. A little bit of cloud cover lingering later for areas such as Petersburg today, 67 degrees. And then as we head to Ripley, 70 degrees today. Snowshoe at 55 degrees, watching for some isolated showers a little bit later on into the morning hours, along with Bluefield, seeing those showers a little bit later, but should clear out and see some sunshine as we head into the late afternoon. Then as we head into the next 7 days, bit of a temperature roller coaster with some unsettled conditions for midweek.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at Salango Law.
Ready to get another week started with primary election day right around the corner. We've got early voting totals, and they might surprise you. It's MetroNews Talkline. We are underway.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the MetroNews Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is MetroNews Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set lineup link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Cue Dave and TJ. You're on. MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave Wilson with you in Morgantown. TJ Meadows is in our Charleston bureau. Zach Karolchek is our video producer this morning. Sophia Wasik handles the audio side of things. And, of course, we appreciate you listening in on one of our great radio affiliates across the state, or watching on the Metro News TV app, Facebook Live, and YouTube as well. Coming up this morning, later on, Brad McElhenney stops by. A lot of money coming in from political action committees late in the judiciary races. We'll talk about that with Brad. Also, the latest on the Greenbrier Hotel ownership saga. That's with Brad later this hour. Steve Roberts from the State Chamber of Commerce will join us, President, as they released a statement late last week calling for more decorum, if you will, when it comes to the politicking and campaigning ahead of this primary election tomorrow. And we will get your thoughts as well. 304-TALK. 304 is the text line, 800-765-TALK. The phone number, Jim Kaufman, West Virginia Hospitals Association, will join us. It's Hospitals Week this week, among everything else. With all that, say good morning to TJ Meadows. Happy Election Eve, TJ.
Eve, you ready for it? Are you pumped?
I think, and this is what I'm writing about for tomorrow, a little teaser for the commentary. I share the sentiment that so many others have already expressed, TJ. I can't wait for May 13th. Ready for it to be over.
That just means you're ready for the next one because it starts the moment the polls close at 7:31. The race for 28 is on. The gubernatorial is on. Is it not? Steve Adams hit the nail on the head at the end of his Sunday notebook that the race for the West Virginia gubernatorial primary begins May 13th. Doesn't matter what happens tomorrow night. That will begin in earnest May 13th. We'll have 2 years to prepare, TJ. We'll give everybody the night off. You know, you can put your feet up for a few hours and then get ready to start come Wednesday morning.
So polls will open at 6:30 tomorrow morning for the West Virginia primary election. Early voting wrapped up on Saturday, and leading up to the weekend, we'd been reporting it had felt pretty slow at early voting locations across the state, but Saturday was the day many of you actually headed to the polls. Joining us on MetroNews Talkline this morning is the Secretary of State, Chris Warner. Mr. Secretary, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
It's great to be with you this morning.
So Saturday wrapped up the 10-day early voting period, and from the numbers that I've seen, Chris, it was a big day and kind of pushed the numbers up a little bit. What happened and what were the totals?
Well, it appears that unofficial numbers right now would say that we had more than an 8% increase in the total number of early voters over the 2022 again, primary all presidential election. So that's the best way to compare the 2026 numbers. So greater than 8% increase was 5,073 more voters show up for early voting than we had in 2022.
Chris, did we see early voting spikes in any particular region of the state that really stepped up and voted in droves?
You know, I haven't paid attention to that yet. I was looking at the various parties, and the Democrats had 1,379 more vote in the 2026 election. The Republicans had 6,109 more vote. So, across the board, the Mountain Party had an increase of 11. But I think what this tells me, TJ, is that people were wondering, was photo ID gone, suppress the vote? And that's not the case at all. And the Republicans closing the primary does not appear to have affected the voter turnout in a negative way. In fact, in a positive way.
Talking to West Virginia Secretary of State Chris Warner. Chris, I've always liked to pose this question to county clerks, so I'll pose it to you as well. Any correlation between early voting numbers, early voting number participation, and what happens tomorrow?
I'm not going to try to predict what's going to happen in the election. I'm just highly encouraged that we had an increase over the 2022 election, and hopefully that that holds true. But I'm not going to try to predict what's going to happen in the election tomorrow.
I was hoping you had a crystal ball because, these prediction markets nowadays, we could make some money. I joke for anyone that's listening. I am curious, though, 22. So we're seeing an uptick over 22. Do you think that will transition to an uptick in overall voting as far as percentage of registered voters that participate in tomorrow's election? Do you have any gut on where that may end up or what kind of trend we'll see?
The thing that I would point out, we had over 39,800 new registrants just since I've taken office, and we've had over 17,000 eligible high school seniors register to vote. Our office has been out in the field. We visited 57 high schools in the last year. I personally visited 38 high schools. We're promoting voter education, registration, the importance of participation, and so we're very encouraged by the total number of new registered voters. If you look at 2022, we've had an increase of 62,599 more registered voters than in the last off-year presidential election.
Talking to Secretary of State Chris Warner. You mentioned the photo ID, which you'll need when you head to the polls tomorrow. Any trouble with that, Chris? Did you get any reports of people being surprised or not knowing that during early voting?
No, we've had our field staff has been in every one of the early voting locations across the state. I was in 5 of those early voting centers in the last 2 days of last week, and that's one of the questions that I've asked. Have we had any pushback? And many of those poll workers have told me that they've looked for a driver's license in the past, and most people produce a driver's license when asked for identification. But a military ID, a passport, any photo ID issued by a county, state, or federal government will suffice tomorrow.
Chris, first off, let me say I voted over the weekend. I voted at the Putnam County Valley Park Early Voting Center, and let me just brag for a second and say it was extremely easy to do, efficient, just a great experience. So kudos to those folks. They did a wonderful job. With that said, if someone is voting tomorrow and they feel like there is an issue or they see something of concern, I know your office wants to hear from them and you stand ready to field those calls. If someone has a concern tomorrow, how should they contact the Secretary of State's office?
Yeah, there are 2 ways. If they think that fraud is occurring, 81877-FRAUD-WV is the number to call, or you can dial our main number at 304-558-6000. And if you see something, say something. Call, let us know what's going on. We have not only investigators, but our entire staff that doesn't need to be in the office will be deployed. We will have someone in every county, every one of the 55 counties tomorrow, and will be within a 1-hour drive of any other complaint that could take place. So we're deployed, we're ready, our folks are trained. I got to compliment the county clerks and their election division staff. They've been working closely with our election division staff in the Secretary of State's office, and we're expecting a smooth day, and I think we're all ready to go for this election.
West Virginia Secretary of State Chris Warner. Polls will open up at 6:30 tomorrow morning. Chris, we appreciate the time. Hope everything goes smoothly tomorrow. We'll talk to you tomorrow night during our election coverage.
Hey, thank you all. Have a good day.
Absolutely. Chris Warner, Secretary of State of the great state of West Virginia. Again, polls open 6:30 tomorrow morning. We'll have election coverage beginning at 7:06 across the MetroNews Radio Network and on the MetroNews TV app. Tomorrow night, we'll tell you more about that a little bit later on. When we come back, President Trump reacting to Iran, reacting to the peace officer. Jonathan Savage, Fox News Radio, will join us with the latest. This is Talkline from the Kanawha Insurance Studios. Just getting started on a Monday morning. Back in a moment.
For 30 years, Shelley Moore Capito has been in elected office. 30 years, and what do we have to show for it? More spending and D.C. dysfunction, and West Virginia left behind. Shelley Moore Capito is a career politician. I'm Tom Willis, a Green Beret, state senator, and a West Virginia business owner. I've served our state and this great country, and I'm ready to continue to serve West Virginia. Shelley answers to Washington insiders. I'll answer to you. West Virginia, it's time for a change. Early voting is happening now, and Election Day is May 12th. I'm Tom Willis, and I'm asking for your vote. I'm Tom Willis, and I approve this message, paid for by Tom Willis Victory.
Building a stronger West Virginia isn't just a dream, it's a mission. The High Technology Foundation knows economic diversity is the key. For over 30 years, they've been dedicated to transforming the state's economic landscape. Conveniently located in the heart of West Virginia, innovation, growth, opportunity, all under one roof. There's no need to look far for change. It's happening right here at the High Technology Foundation in North Central West Virginia. Visit WVHTF.org to learn more.
At WVU Medicine, our nationally recognized Heart and Vascular Institute is focused on keeping your heart strong. Our experts bring world-class care close to home, using the most advanced technology. Because in medicine, the best heart is one that beats for life. And it takes the best in heart care to protect it. WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, West Virginia's leader in heart care. For more information, visit WVUmedicine.org/heart.
Running a small business means wearing a lot of hats, and dealing with tech problems shouldn't be one of them. CityNet helps West Virginia businesses keep their technology running smoothly, from networks and computers to backup, security, and day-to-day support. Whether you don't have IT staff or you have a small team that could use extra help, CityNet can take care of the technology or work alongside your team to fill in the gaps. With proactive monitoring, fast local support, and solutions built on CityNet's fiber network, your business stays productive instead of reactive. Call us at 1-844-CityNet to get started.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Kanawha Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Kanawha Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
5, 3.
For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop.
I would imagine a group of you got together and watched the Mountaineers last night. What were your thoughts on that performance?
It was funny, we were sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? And sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another $1,000 on them tomorrow.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Brad McElhenney joins us bottom of the hour. Yesterday, President Trump sharply dismissed Iran's multi-page proposal for a peace deal, signaling potential and continued deadlock in negotiations to end the war. He posted on Truth Social, I've just read the response from Iran's so-called representatives. I don't like it. Totally unacceptable, he wrote in all caps on Truth Social. For the latest, let's bring in Fox News Radio's Jonathan Savage. Jonathan, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, good morning.
So the president called it totally unacceptable. What exactly was Iran proposing?
Yeah, what we know of this comes from various news outlets who have got the details of it. Iran was reportedly proposing a gradual reopening of shipping lanes in the Strait of Hormuz, but an immediate lift of the U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports. Iran was wanting the lifting of sanctions, the releasing of frozen Iranian assets, and compensation for war damage. And that's one thing, but I think crucially in terms of all this, Iran was reportedly rejecting the dismantling of their nuclear facilities and rejecting a long-term ban on uranium enrichment, because sometimes it's easy to forget that all of this started because of the failure of nuclear talks between the United States and Iran. So the nuclear issue will remain the biggest one.
So, Jonathan, it seems the White House, through the president's Truth Social post, has categorically rejected this plan. What should we expect next? Another counter proposal from the U.S.? Is there any indication that that's what will come? Where do we go from here?
perhaps President Trump has always maintained that threat, hasn't he, that the bombing could start and go much farther than it previously had if Iran doesn't agree to a deal. Now, so far he hasn't followed through on that threat. He is continuing to go down the path of diplomacy rather than the military route. So diplomacy probably not dead. It probably needs some TLC. However, there are plenty of countries who are working behind the scenes to try to get the Strait of Hormuz reopened, to try and get an end to this conflict, not least, of course, Pakistan, the main mediators here. So I think there are probably going to be more messages passed back and forth, perhaps more meetings with mediators, although there's no sign as of yet of any face-to-face negotiations between the U.S. and Iran.
Talking to Fox News Radio's Jonathan Savage. Jonathan, is Iran just stalling for time, and does it have that luxury given the Strait of Hormuz and the blockade and its economy basically withering away?
Iran, I think, hopes that it can outlast the United States in terms of patience, and Iran probably is certainly trying to send the impression that it can absorb all this economic pain. It is a country which has absorbed 47 years of economic pain. It's had many sanctions placed on it over the years. That continues to be the case, and its economy has been hugely damaged as a result. For the Iranians, the Iranian regime, the survival of the regime is more important than the economic health of the country, it would appear. There are also reports that Iran could survive this blockade for maybe 4 months without total economic annihilation. So perhaps that's longer than some of the Trump administration had hoped.
The president heads to Beijing this week. As that unfolds, we also hear of a 4-point Chinese plan that Iran is signaling to be favorable. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, President Trump is heading to Beijing for talks which have been planned for a very long time, but now will undoubtedly be overshadowed, perhaps dominated by the situation in Iran. It's important for China because China is a main purchaser of Iranian oil, a key economic ally of Iran, and they have some military relations as well. China has been calling for a complete cessation of hostilities without necessarily going down one side or the other in terms of taking a view on who is right and who is wrong here. I think the Trump administration will continue to hope that China puts pressure on Iran to agree a deal. But for their part, Iran has been publicly calling on China to warn the U.S. of what Iran calls illegal and bullying actions.
Fox News Radio's Jonathan Savage with the latest on the Iran conflict. Jonathan, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
304-TALK, 304 is the text line at 800-765-8255. Maybe that ends up being the question, TJ, is who has more patience? Is it the American public with gas prices at, I think, $4.44, $4.45 here in Morgantown this morning? Those are going to go up. Oil spiked this morning, I believe, watching the markets. Does the U.S. public have the patience to wait this out? Or can Iran and the regime, and really, look, when we say Iran, we're talking about the RGC and the regime here. Can it wait it out even longer until the American public gets fed up and the U.S. has to back away? Maybe that ends up being the question that we're still talking about in 4 months.
I think it's a fair question. I think if we, the U.S., are going to wait that out. I think the Trump administration is going to have to be a little bit more communicative in how long they think this will go on. So if it is 4 months, they need to say that. I think Marco Rubio last week, in my opinion, did a better job of laying out the why when it comes to Iran than anyone in the Trump administration, including the president, has done to date. So if that's the case and it does become a strategy of we're going to continue to strangle Iran with the blockade and choke them off economically, then you have to communicate that message to the American public that, yes, this is going to be 6 months. I'm going to ask you for 6 months of sacrifice in order to make this happen, and let them buy in to the mission. Because otherwise, you're right, we're a consumer nation. We want to consume. That's all we do.
But are we going to buy? The American public, we're not very patient. The American public is not patient, TJ. You know this.
No.
So I don't know, even if given the opportunity, the public would buy into that. Buy into $5, $6 a gallon gas for what? For something that's happening halfway across the world?
If you sell it the right way, though. Again, back to Rubio.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about the fact, do you want this to be the next North Korea? Do you want them to have a nuclear weapon, and then we can't do anything about it? Or do we want to have a little bit of pain now, forego our consumption, yes, pay higher gas prices, but understand that there is a greater purpose at play? Can we be a fragment of what the greatest generation was during WW2? I mean, if it is sold right and properly communicated, I still think this country can become unified around something. We just need someone to explain what that is and be honest about what it's going to be up front. I mean, all this messaging from Trump, oh, it'll be over in 2 weeks. No, it won't. No, it won't. Be up front with the American people, and they'll come along beside you. That's the argument I'm making.
304 Talk 304 is the text line. 800-765-8255, the phone number. I'm not convinced we haven't seen the end of military actions. The bully's going to need punched in the face one more time.
No, I think that's part of it. I think that's part of it.
It is going to be. It's going to have to be something swift and decisive, and it's going to have to be maybe unpopular with some people. But the bully would have to be punched in the face one more time before they look. They're not going to give in. I mean, I don't think the regime's going to give in at any point here. They don't care what the economic health of the country is, as long as they get their money at the end of the day. As long as the IRGC is getting paid, they're good.
We're already there, David. Let's finish it. Let's do it right. Let's not leave it hanging.
Coming up, Brad McElhenney will join us. He took a look at the state Supreme Court races that are on the ballot for the primary election, and this is the election for those state Supreme Court races. Plus, there's been a ton of money flowing in from political action committees on those races. TJ's been keeping track of all that. We'll tackle all of that when we come back on the other side of this break, plus your text at 304-TALK-304. And you can give us a call, 800-765-TALK. This is Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Solango Law. Get results, not excuses.
We're tracking some rain showers right away this morning. They will clear out, though, expecting to see some sunshine as we head into the afternoon with some warmer temperatures on tap for Tuesday or cooler Thursday. It's a bit of a temperature roller coaster this week, but I want to talk about some of these showers that we're seeing there work through right away this morning into the early afternoon hours, lingering a bit longer for areas such as Bluefield, but there too should clear out and see sunshine by the afternoon. Then overnight tonight, spotty shower or two possible, clearing out by Tuesday morning. Should see plenty of sunshine throughout the course of the day. On Tuesday, going to be a nice day with accumulations from these showers that we'll see through 7 p.m. Wednesday, looking to stay, generally speaking, fairly light. Quick peek at your Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. We're watching for some unsettled conditions across Florida, not only for the day today, but as we head into midweek as well. But for us, those unsettled conditions are going to clear out quickly as we take a look at your panhandle to panhandle forecast, expecting to see sunshine. We're looking at a high temperature of 65 degrees in Wellsburg as we head into the day today with those sunny skies. A little bit of cloud cover lingering later for areas such as Petersburg today, 67 degrees. And then as we head to Ripley, 70 degrees today. Snowshoe at 55 degrees, watching for some isolated showers a little bit later on into the morning hours, along with Bluefield, seeing those showers a little bit later, but should clear out and see some sunshine as we head into the late afternoon. Then as we head into the next 7 days, bit of a temperature roller coaster with some unsettled conditions for midweek.
This is Ben Solango with Solango Law. Solango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Solango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Solango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at Solango Law.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me
a
too.
great point.
Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
Text line is 304-TALK-304. Phone number is 800-765-TALK. 800-765-8255. Texter says 304-TALK-304. Voted on Saturday in Monongalia County. The place was bustling. Yeah, County Clerk Kerry Blaney sent the numbers out. Big surge on Saturday. Monongalia County finished a little bit ahead of 2022 primary numbers for early voting. Dave and TJ, many of us seasoned citizens were voting back in the day when a dollar and a swaller had an influence. My, how times have changed from the Northern Outpost. Those were the good old days, says the texter.
Sometimes you got two swallers, one before you went in and one after you came out.
Are we better off? Okay. I don't know how to turn this into a poll question. Are we better off with the dollar and a swaller days or these mailers that have flooded mailboxes and people are now using for kindling across the state? I don't know.
Can I chime in?
Go right ahead.
Give me the smoke-filled room, baby. I think, honestly.
Smoke-filled room, a little brandy, and very nice mustaches to pick them, right?
They didn't do so bad.
Yeah. Stirewalt would make a very long case for that, by the way, as we all have heard on multiple occasions. Steve Roberts is going to join us top of the hour. He's president of the West Virginia Chamber of Commerce. They put out a statement. Steve put out a statement and sent a letter to President Randy Smith, actually, of the state Senate last week about the campaign material that is going out, asking for a little bit higher standard for campaign material. We'll talk to him coming up at the top of the hour. Brad McElhenney has a story this morning over at wvmetronews.com where he breaks down the races for state Supreme Courts. And Brad joins us on Metro News Talkline this morning. Brad, good morning. Happy primary election eve.
Happy primary election eve. It is Monday. On Wednesday, it will again feel like a Monday. So kind of a weird week. If I can just chime in on the prior conversation,
Sure.
the tone and the mudslinging of this election may lead the average person to need a swaller. So everything may be interconnected.
Brad McElhenney brings it right home for all of us there. All right, Brad, who are voters? We'll get into the specifics of who, but what seats on the state Supreme Court are voters deciding on in the election tomorrow?
Well, we have this ongoing conversation about whether the participation in this election is above average or a little disappointing. Let me make the case here for why it's important, if you haven't yet voted, to get out tomorrow. 2 of the 5 seats on West Virginia's Supreme Court, the third branch of government, an influential branch of government, up tomorrow, 2 unexpired terms. One is a seat formerly held by Beth Walker, who retired last year. This term expires in 2028. So typically the terms are 12 years. This will be 6, but it's significant. The other is a term previously held by Tim Armstead, who tragically and unfortunately died last year. This is a term that expires in 2032. So it'll be a 6-year term. 2 candidates on the first, what had been the Walker seat, 2 years remaining on that term. I might have misspoken a minute ago. The quasi-incumbent is Thomas Ewing, who had been a circuit judge in Fayette County. Thomas Ewing, maybe not exactly a household name yet, but running to retain that seat, talking about his experience with family issues and practical experience on that Fayette County circuit seat. Bill Flanagan, who has been a state delegate out of Wheeling, is his opponent. Flanagan is in private practice. And then the other seat, which is a longer term, the former Armstead seat, 6 years remaining. So it's more competitive because if you get it, you're going to be in it for a while. The sort of incumbent is Gerald Titus III, who has been a Charleston area attorney, well known in the legal community, but has not been on the court very long. 22 years of experience in law practice, though. His opponents include Laura Faircloth, a veteran attorney who has been a circuit judge in the Eastern Panhandle for nearly a decade. Todd Kirby, circuit judge in Raleigh County and a former Republican member of the House of Delegates. And then another Raleigh County area candidate, now senior status judge Kirkpatrick, who has more than 30 years of experience on the bench. And finally, Martin, now Red Hat Sheehan. Martin Sheehan is a Wheeling attorney who has run a few times, previously was known on the ballot as Red Shoes Sheehan, but currently calling himself Red Hat Sheehan, which does tend to catch the eye. So it's going to be, competitive no matter how many people vote. And, you heard these candidates from all over the state with a general lack of name recognition. My prediction is that this breaks down a little bit into regional favoritism, regional priorities. But again, just to underscore, 2 of the 5 justices up, a significant branch of government. And, if you're looking for motivation to get out and vote, I think this is it.
Few thoughts here for you both to kind of soak up and see what sticks. Talked to some folks over the weekend, and they both that I talked to said this is the most important race on the ballot for the reasons you just talked about, Brad. The third branch, influential, 2 seats, could see a flip in the court mentality, potentially. Admittedly, I haven't paid as much attention to that race as all of the state Senate races, legislative races that are going on. And that was the point that was made to me this weekend. We're all focused over here, yet this is the big picture on the other side with the court, and there have been those that have focused on that from the start. They mentioned several groups. I won't be disparaging that way, but they're pumping some money into this. And over the weekend, I noticed that in the last couple of weeks, especially for Titus, there has been a flood of money that has come in to this race from PACs. And I started asking around about that, and my inclinations, I think, were wrong. Most people told me that this is actually a place where both both Republican factions agree. They like Titus. And one of the reasons so much money has come in is that one faction believes the fact that Morrissey appointed him will actually hurt him. And so they're trying to prop him up. Dave Wilson, I see you nodding your head. Do you share that opinion?
I've heard the same thing. The conversation I had was a little broader than that, but the Morrissey endorsement, the Morrissey support is in the last days of this election, for many, becoming toxic. That, okay, if you're the guy he supports, then I'm going to vote for the other guy, or one of the other guys, or one of the in this case, there's a woman available as well, Laura Faircloth. So, yes, TJ, is a little bit broader of a discussion, but I've heard some of the same things, that the endorsement or the governor's support is becoming toxic late in the race. And, in fact, Titus may want to keep that at arm's length if this was what was advised to me, not that this was advised to Gerald Titus at all, but the person I was speaking to said if I were him, I would keep that endorsement, I would keep that support at arm's length here in the final days of the campaign. Brad, anything to add?
Yeah, I want to thank Talkline. Talkline has had each of these candidates, 7 of them, on over a period of time, and I just think it's been good public service. I also think that, it's challenging for these judicial candidates as well as for interviewers, because they largely need to steer clear of taking specific positions on issues. So, it's just a real challenge for everybody, because it becomes kind of this broad and philosophical approach. That's still helpful, but I know that you guys have been in a challenging position trying to get a view of what these candidates are all about.
And TJ, I think that was your question du jour when we had the candidates on, trying to get an idea. How do you view the Constitution? Are you a absolutist? Are you a purist? How do you see those things? Because, look, guys, there are going to be some important rulings here coming up. Vaccine exemptions is right at the top of the list. We could see some things with school choice come before the state Supreme. So there are some pretty important cases and rulings that are out there on the horizon that are going to be decided that could have long-lasting and long-reaching ramifications.
And I don't have the timelines in front of me, Brad. I'm not putting you on the spot either, but your memory is far superior to mine. Will we see some of these key issues, Dave, you talked about? Who is in control of education? Is it the Board of Education? Is it the legislature? What do we do over vaccines? Depending on who wins Tuesday night, will we see those timelines? Will we see the court maybe want to pick that up before certain people are let go, if they're let go? Because the public, I don't know. Not sure how that all plays in.
I'm at a disadvantage, unfortunately. So both Ewing and Titus were named to these open seats by Governor Morrissey. What I am not totally clear on is if somebody beats them, at what point would they take over that role? Typically, the term ends, and the new justice, if it's a normal election, would be sworn in December, January of a particular year. It may be bumped up, but yeah, there are important things just straight ahead. This issue of religious exemptions to vaccinations in the school system, who has the final say so on education policy passed by the legislature, whether that is the legislature itself or the Department of Education, and then kind of an under the radar issue of should there be local votes on new charter schools being established in West Virginia? That's another issue that's still straight ahead before the Supreme Court.
And not that this is something pending, guys, but something I could certainly see coming before the court at some point in some shape, form, or fashion. There's going to be lawsuits about data centers, right? At some point. Can't you see that in front of this court somewhere down the road in the next 3, 4, 5 years at some point? Certainly that could be something that needs to be decided as well. All right. Oh, boy, we got all worked up there. It's Election Day Eve, guys. I'm starting to get excited. Brad, before we let you go, we must ask you, what is the latest in the saga that is As the Greenbrier Turns? So the Justice Family Business attorneys now questioning if the lawsuit brought by Omni Hotels, TRT Holdings, White Sulphur Springs Holdings, whatever the company you want to call it, is even valid? ? What's the latest here in the latest filing?
Yeah, that's the legal strategy. So Omni has filed to try to get receivership over the Greenbrier, to try to remove control from the justices. That's a lawsuit filed in federal court, but the Justice family, owners of the actual property, are taking, I would call it, an original sin approach. And they have a separate lawsuit in Greenbrier County to say that that the Omni family of companies gained control over the Greenbrier debt in unlawful, fraudulent fashion. And so the argument, you really need a whiteboard for this, but the argument that the justices are making in federal court is that case, the Omni push, needs to be frozen so that the question in local court in Greenbrier County can be ironed out about whether Omni has solid ground or not.
I hate to say it this way because it is important and many people have a stake in this. I'm starting to be of the camp, I don't care. I mean, that's where I'm starting to get with all the back and forth. Get it to court, make your case, let a judge make the decision, go from there.
Let the judge make the decision, but it's the lawyer's job, right? Lawyer's job, execute every little nook and cranny in the law that you can find. Brad, final question of the day. Will you be bringing a whiteboard to election coverage tomorrow night?
We're all relying on TJ Meadows, who has the spreadsheet of all of the donations and who is in what camp. And we're going to all be relying on TJ to tell us who comes out ahead in this major mudstorm that we are all experiencing.
I shared with my wife what Dave Allen referred to me as last week on the air. At some point, he called me TJ. I never met a spreadsheet I didn't like Meadows. I shared that with my wife, and she looked at me. Yeah, pretty much.
She knows you. She
knows me. She knows me. Guilty. Guilty as charged.
You can read Brad's profile on the state Supreme Court justice candidates over at the website WVMetroNews.com. Brad will be part of our coverage coming up tomorrow night starting at 7:06 across the Metro News Radio Network. In fact, on many of these same Metro News radio stations. You can also watch all 5 hours of our coverage, maybe more if needed, on the Metro News television app, YouTube Live, Facebook Live as well. Brad, we'll see you here in the studios tomorrow night. Appreciate it, buddy.
Hugs. Thanks. Bye.
Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhenney. We'll get to some of your texts, 304-TALK-304. We've been tracking at 7 political action committees, independent expenditure groups, and their support or opposition, if you will, their spending heading into the primary election. We'll give you the latest facts and figures as we have them when we come back. Plus, we'll get to your texts as well. This is Talkline from the Kanawha Insurance Studios.
Everywhere you look, people are supporting Shelley Moore Capito for Senate. President Trump has endorsed her. So has West Virginians for Life. The National Shooting Sports Foundation named her Legislator of the Year. And she's backed by workers, small business owners, and Republicans across the Mountain State. Now it's your turn. Vote early through May 9th or on Election Day, May 12th.
I'm Shelley Moore Capito, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Capito for West Virginia.
Are you ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
Every day across West Virginia, healing happens here, where skilled hands and caring hearts save lives. West Virginia hospitals are more than places of care. They are lifelines for our communities. Employing nearly 54,000 people, hospitals power local economies and help communities not just survive, but thrive. During National Hospital Week, we recognize those who care for us all, because healing happens here, and its impact reaches everywhere. A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association.
The rule of law protects our communities. Integrity protects our values. Conservative Justice Gerald Titus spent his career fighting for both. As a prosecutor, Titus took on criminals and traffickers. Now, as a justice, he applies the law as written, fairly and independently. Endorsed by law enforcement, he stands with those who protect and serve. Because when courts uphold the law, criminals are held accountable and communities are safer. For Justice Titus, it's personal.
I'm Justice Gerald Titus. I spent my career upholding the rule of law. I was born here, raised here, and now my wife and I are raising our family in West Virginia. We need judges who are fair and apply the law as written and protect the rights of all our citizens.
Vote to keep conservative Justice Gerald Titus on the West Virginia Supreme Court. Vote early or on May 12th. Paid for by Titus for Supreme Court.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
The region's largest restoration firm, responding from 5 locations. When disaster strikes your home or business, call Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Kanawha GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Kanawha GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
We've been keeping track of 7 political action committees and their spending heading into this primary election, which is tomorrow. Polls open 6:30. Coverage on the Metro News Radio Network starts at 7:06 tomorrow evening. And TJ, you sent an email sometime yesterday evening with the latest numbers as we had them. As of May 8th, I believe, was Friday.
Yes, Friday.
And we are now pushing almost $5 million spent by these PACs heading into the election. What do you got?
$4.97 million, almost $5 million just on legislative races. Of the 7 we're tracking, 2 are Tacubo-aligned PACs. The West Virginia Chamber, by my reckoning, and again, this can all change when reports come in, so you could look at it 10 minutes from now, it'll be completely different. $507,000, Mountaineer Freedom Alliance, $708,000. The Morrissey-aligned PACs, by any count, Sugar Maple is spending the most, $1.124 million. AFP, Americans for Prosperity, their PAC, $800,000. School Freedom Fund, $917,000. Make Liberty Win, $400,000. The Mountaineer Conservative Alliance, which is heavily aligned with Senate President Randy Smith, $514,000. In some of these Senate races, Deeds versus Comer, for instance, the opposition against Deeds is 3-1. 3-1. Based on this PACs. The Tacubo race, it's a little closer, 1.6-1. So big money going into 2 of those Senate races. I think there are 5 races where the big money's really at. It's Deeds Comer, Tacubo Pritt. It's the Vernon Criss race with his opponent, the Scott Heckard race with his opponent, and then also Clay Riley in that race. Those are the 3 big House races where a lot of the money is going. The Bartlett race in the Senate versus Eschenauer and Lance Wheeler's also in on that one. That is a big money spender, but huge dollars, Dave, comparatively. Huge dollars.
And we've never seen – we have talked between the 2 of us, I don't know, dozen people better, probably better than a dozen people who have – watched elections for years in West Virginia, have never seen anything like this in a primary election. Unfortunately, the common thread seems to be, if we're starting to look ahead, this may become the norm. I'm maybe the last holdout who's hopeful that this is an anomaly and we can get back to some sense of normalcy, but that's probably wishful thinking on my part, TJ, that this is what it's going to be. West Virginia's a cheap state. You can test principles and ideas and philosophies here for relatively inexpensive dollars, try to get some people in the legislature, see what happens. This just may be what we're dealing with every couple of years.
My bet for the 28th gubernatorial primary, we will look back at this 26th primary and say, oh, that was a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Because give Governor Morrissey credit for this. He is a fundraising machine. He's been able to go out to these political action committees, and he's been able to raise the dollars it takes. Look, campaigning's not cheap. It takes money. It takes money. That one thing I definitely agree with Jason Huffman when we spoke to him last week. Free speech isn't free necessarily. You got to buy ads. You got to get on the radio. You got to get on television. Mailers, as much as we hate them, going out everywhere. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. And now running for House of Delegates is not necessarily a cheap endeavor.
No, I've got no problem with the money. My thing is just put your name on it. And I have to give Jeff Yass credit. Puts his name on it. If you believe it, put your name on it. Don't hide it behind a 501c4 with a name no one understands and you have no idea who the money's coming from. If you are this passionate about your idea and you want to play a role in West Virginia politics, put your name on it. Just put your name on it. And also the mudslinging. I think we could talk more about policy and less about who's a tranny and who's not.
We'll be back in a moment to wrap up the hour. This is Talkline from the Kanawha Insurance Studios. Back right after this.
For 30 years, Shelley Moore Capito has been in elected office. 30 years, and what do we have to show for it? More spending and D.C. dysfunction, and West Virginia left behind. Shelley Moore Capito is a career politician. I'm Tom Willis, a Green Beret, state senator, and a West Virginia business owner. I've served our state and this great country, and I'm ready to continue to serve West Virginia. Shelley answers to Washington insiders. I'll answer to you. West Virginia, it's time for a change. Early voting is happening now, and Election Day is May 12th. I'm Tom Willis, and I'm asking for your vote. I'm Tom Willis, and I approve this message, paid for by Tom Willis Victory.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Solango Law. Get results, not excuses.
We're tracking some rain showers right away this morning. They will clear out, though, expecting to see some sunshine as we head into the afternoon with some warmer temperatures on tap for Tuesday or cooler Thursday. It's a bit of a temperature roller coaster this week, but I want to talk about some of these showers that we're seeing there work through right away this morning into the early afternoon hours, lingering a bit longer for areas such as Bluefield, but there too should clear out and see sunshine by the afternoon. Then overnight tonight, spotty shower or two possible, clearing out by Tuesday morning. Should see plenty of sunshine throughout the course of the day. On Tuesday, going to be a nice day with accumulations from these showers that we'll see through 7 p.m. Wednesday, looking to stay, generally speaking, fairly light. Quick peek at your Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. We're watching for some unsettled conditions across Florida, not only for the day today, but as we head into midweek as well. But for us, those unsettled conditions are going to clear out quickly as we take a look at your panhandle to panhandle forecast, expecting to see sunshine. We're looking at a high temperature of 65 degrees in Wellsburg as we head into the day today with those sunny skies. A little bit of cloud cover lingering later for areas such as Petersburg today, 67 degrees. And then as we head to Ripley, 70 degrees today. Snowshoe at 55 degrees, watching for some isolated showers a little bit later on into the morning hours, along with Bluefield, seeing those showers a little bit later, but should clear out and see some sunshine as we head into the late afternoon. Then as we head into the next 7 days, bit of a temperature roller coaster with some unsettled conditions for midweek.
This is Ben Solango with Solango Law. Solango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Solango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Solango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at Solango Law.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Second hour of MetroNews Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. Hope you're having a nice start to the week. Dave in Morgantown, TJ in Charleston, Sophia Wasik, our audio producer today, and Zach Karolchek, man of the people, handling the video stream. We appreciate you being part of the program, listening in on our great radio affiliates across the state of West Virginia, or if you're watching in on the Metro News television app, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. We appreciate you there as well. Coming up a little bit later on, Jim Coffin, West Virginia Hospitals Association, will join us. It's Hospitals Week. We'll talk to him coming up at the bottom of the hour. We'll get to your text as well. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line, 800-765-TALK. That is the phone number, 800-765-8255. Once again, say good morning to TJ Meadows in the Encova Insurance Studios South, which would be in Charleston. Morning, sir.
Morning, sir. I am extremely confident that if Karolchek were on a ballot, he would win.
Oh, no
If
doubt.
Jake were on a ballot, he would win. I think even Ethan would win, quite frankly.
You know who would not win?
I'm playing Ethan. Who?
Dave Allen.
I knew you'd take it if I set it up for you. I mean, where's that gif of me like setting the ball and you spike it over the net? You know what I'm talking about?
You put it right there on the tee, my man. That was an easy one. That was an easy one.
All right.
By the way, Dave Allen coming up with Amanda Barron, Metro News Midday on many of these same Metro News radio stations later on this afternoon. Last week, the West Virginia Chamber of Commerce put out a release calling on state leaders for higher standards in West Virginia primary election campaigns. The Chamber President, Steve Roberts, sent a letter to State Senate President Randy Smith. In that letter, he says, "Let's earnestly debate positions, but please, I urge you to disavow these actions and instruct Mountaineer conservative action to stop using misrepresentation and artificially generated images that only serve to drive us apart." That was part of the letter. Joining us from the Encova Insurance Studios in Charleston this morning is President of the West Virginia Chamber of Commerce, Steve Roberts. Steve, good morning, and thanks for coming in.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on. Let me quickly say a word of Happy Mother's Day to all those mothers who enjoyed yesterday tell a quick story. At our house, our grandson brought in immediately a turtle and a garter snake. So that's how we kicked off Mother's Day. And it did not go downhill from there. We had we enjoyed the whole day.
That sounds like the perfect way to get things started, Steve.
It was a good day. It was a good day.
Well, glad glad everyone had a great Mother's Day yesterday across the state. All right, Steve. So we got the primary election tomorrow. Last week, what compelled you and the Chamber of Commerce to issue this statement and send the letter to Senate President Randy Smith?
Well, let me start here since we began the top of the conversation with a sports analogy. So let me just say when it comes to easy layups, I went to Huntington High, and on the wall in the gym at the old Huntington High, in great big letters was a saying, when the one great scorer comes to call, he asks not whether you won or lost, but how you played the game. And I think we're at a point in West Virginia's political and policy life that we need to really ask ourselves, how are we playing the game? Are we talking about the issues that are the important issues, or are we skirting the important issues and dealing with things that appeal to a certain strata of voters, but that are not really going to change the trajectory of people's quality of life in West Virginia? In the last year, just over 12 months in West Virginia, we've actually had a net loss. Now, let me say that again, a net loss of almost 7,000 jobs. From a Chamber of Commerce point of view, we want to talk about that. We want to try to understand, why is West Virginia losing net employment, not gaining net employment? What is happening, and what can we do to address it? And we're also on the page that, there was a political saying when I was one of the candidates when I was in junior high school in Huntington, some talk change, others cause it. And we understand that a lot of people are talking change, but what can we do to cause change? What can we do to actually cause the direction to change in West Virginia? What we think is that we need more emphasis on the economy and jobs, that more people in West Virginia care about the economy and jobs than they do certain other issues. It's okay to talk about other issues, but let's not ignore the economy and jobs. Now, to the specific, why did I write the letter? What really motivated me to write the letter was seeing that Dr. Eschenauer, who is a candidate in the 8th Senatorial District, who has adopted 4 children, a doctor who is a 4-time combat veteran, went to Afghanistan and Iraq to help injured people, has adopted children. 2 of those children are African-American children. And a mailer was put out against Dr. Eschenauer that artificial intelligence had created a Black Lives Matters. They misspelled matter, said Black Lives Matters, and they artificially put a mask on him. And, to me, that's a blatant racist thing to do. I talked to many members of the Chamber of Commerce about it who said they saw it the same way. And really the members of the Chamber, I wanted to speak on the issue, but the members of the Chamber of Commerce, and we have about 5,000 members throughout West Virginia. They employ over half of West Virginia's workforce. The members of the Chamber of Commerce said, look, enough is enough. This needs to be called out. And so I simply wrote a letter asking Senator Smith to not do this again and to change his approach.
Let me jump in here. On this letter that you submitted, you call out Mountaineer Conservative Action. You call it an entity controlled by Senate President and Lieutenant Governor Randy Smith. Do you believe that he approved these ads up front, knowing what he was sending out?
I'd like to think that maybe he turned this over to paid staff. They have some staff that is getting paid, from what I understand. I'd like to believe that's what happened. I wrote the letter carefully and in a way to allow him to say, look, this is a mistake, or this is not really representative.
Has he said that yet?
But he has not. And that puzzles me. I've known Senator Smith for a long, long time. As I said in the letter, the Chamber of Commerce supported him when he first ran for office. We not only supported him, we prominently featured him. We suggested to our members that he was worthy of support. And what I really believe is that Senator Smith is a better person than these ads represent. And I think he should distance himself from them. And if he were to ask me what I think, or if he happens to be listening, and he may well be, I would say, Senator Smith, I think you're a better person than this, and I call on you to distance yourself from especially using racial. I think any of the misrepresentation that is generated by artificial intelligence needs to go away. It needs to stop. But I especially think we need to not do those things that really take us into the realm of making this about race. A person who has adopted 2 African-American children, that couldn't have been easy. He, from what I understand, he raised them in a loving household. They've had an opportunity for higher education and gainful employment. We should applaud that. We shouldn't use it. We shouldn't try to make political hay out of it.
Talking to Steve Roberts, president of the West Virginia Chamber of Commerce. Steve, the chamber has been active leading up to the primary election, spent about $500,000 supporting candidates. Is this a sincere call to raise campaign standards, or is this part of the political game?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think we're all learning as we go. From our point of view, we have said from the very beginning that we will not use artificially generated images, that we will focus on candidates' actual voting records. Where a candidate has a record, we think it's fair to call out that record. Sometimes you have to try to do that using illustration. Again, I think it's a great question. I think in the letter to Senator Smith, I did refer to President Abraham Lincoln's first inaugural address, in which he used the phrase, I call on the better angels of our nature. I think all of us could be reminded of the better angels of our nature. I listened to our new minister at our church, where I go to church here in Charleston, preached yesterday on the subject of change and change being hard, and basically saying change. And he looked at his congregation and he looked at each of us and he says, where does change begin? It begins with you. I think all of us should look at ourselves and ask whether we're doing the right thing or not. Again, I was raised with this ethic that was in the saying on the wall at Huntington High, which is when the one great scorer comes to call, he asks not whether you won or lost, but how you played the game. And I think that it's worth stopping and reflecting on that question.
If there would be those candidates who feel that your ads haven't displayed them in the best of light, would you welcome a call from them if they want to talk about it?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I would be. In fact, I have talked in the past to candidates. Now we have to get through the sort of the closeout period for legal reasons, but
sure.
we're there. There's no more that we can say or do to influence the outcome of this election. And the answer is yes. We absolutely would be open to conversation. In the past, if we've been wrong, we've wanted to say we made a mistake. We'd be very, very open to any conversation about that. If a candidate thinks we've misrepresented their record, as an example, we'd like to see where and how.
Steve Roberts, president of the West Virginia Chamber of Commerce. Steve, we'll just pose this question to you broadly. You can duck it if you want. Have you ever seen anything like this primary season? The consensus is this is an unprecedented primary from all the folks who are political observers here in the state.
There's no need to duck the question. I have never seen anything like this in a primary election. I have seen contentious primary elections, and certainly we've seen contentious general elections, but I have not. In fact, I think the record will show that there has not been this level of money coming in, especially coming in from outside the state, from interests that are clearly raising their money from and controlled by out-of-state interests. There's never been anything like this in West Virginia. I think it's one of the things I think it is doing is resulting in people sort of throwing up their hands in frustration and saying, well, I'm just not going to go vote. And I think that's unfortunate. West Virginia does not lead the nation in voter turnout. In fact, we historically do have low voter turnout. We've speculated, those of us who kind of come from a political science background have perhaps somewhat cynically said, well, in many cases, West Virginians haven't seen a lot of result from their election activity, so they may be discouraged from participating. What we'd like to see is higher voter turnout. We're seeing very, very low voter turnout. And I suspect that the enormous negativity associated with this race is helping to drive low voter turnout. I think it could have an impact, by the way, in Supreme Court elections, and we'll see. But clearly, in about 36 hours, we'll begin to know the results. But I think there is real confusion and dissatisfaction among many voters.
Steve Roberts, president of the West Virginia Chamber of Commerce. Steve, we got a pretty long commercial break. We got to get to it. Appreciate you stopping in this morning. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Coming back, we'll get to a few texts. 304-TALK. 304 is the text line. 800-765-TALK's the phone number. This is Talkline from the Kanawha Insurance Studios.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
The rule of law protects our communities. Integrity protects our values. Conservative Justice Gerald Titus spent his career fighting for both. As a prosecutor, Titus took on criminals and traffickers. Now, as a justice, he applies the law as written, fairly and independently. Endorsed by law enforcement, he stands with those who protect and serve. Because when courts uphold the law, criminals are held accountable and communities are safer. For Justice Titus, it's personal.
I'm Justice Gerald Titus. I spent my career upholding the rule of law. I was born here, raised here, and now my wife and I are raising our family in West Virginia. We need judges who are fair and apply the law as written and protect the rights of all our citizens.
Vote to keep conservative Justice Gerald Titus on the West Virginia Supreme Court. Vote early or on May 12th. Paid for by Titus for Supreme Court.
Approach your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
Welcome back, class of 2011.
Most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it.
Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life.
Never too late, man.
You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Kanawha Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All-new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All-new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Kanawha Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We'll get to some text. 304 Talk 304. You've heard the buzz about CityNet Fiber expanding across West Virginia. Now you can check your address, choose the plan that fits your needs, and even pick your preferred installation window. Visit citynet.net. Remember, CityNet connects, protects, and perfects. Texter says, I thought PACs could back who they choose, but I thought candidate and PACs could not coordinate. Am I wrong? No, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. They are not supposed to be coordinating. And look, I'm not calling out any specific candidate, neither I don't think TJ is either, because they can't help if, whatever PAC, pick your favorite PAC, puts out an ad that says this about the other candidate and supports you. Nothing you can do about that. I don't expect you to go out and file some kind of court case or whatever, a lawsuit about it. But this is what we've been trying to highlight. This is what we've been highlighting. This is outside money. A lot of this is money being raised from outside the state, funneled through these PACs. These ads are being put out. Now, the Mountaineer Conservative Alliance, that's an in-state group. That's a group that has ties to Senate President Randy Smith. But to the texter's point, yes, PACs can choose and kind of do whatever they want to. No, candidates are not supposed to be coordinating with them, but there is certainly some coordination going on behind the scenes, at least higher up the ranks, heading into the primary Tuesday. TJ?
No, you hit it, and I'm not making any accusations of anybody,
Sure.
but I'll use some D.C. experience. I may not talk to you, David, because I'm not allowed to, but maybe I talk to a guy that is allowed to talk to you. Goes on all
Sure.
the time.
Sure. That's the way, to use the sports analogy, that's what happens in sports. You can't talk to the free agent, but you can talk to somebody who can talk to him, right? And that's how you have the deal at 12:01 as soon as free agency opens up. It's the same kind of principle. Maybe I can't talk to the candidate, but I can talk to the person near them, close to them.
Yeah.
Or I can talk to somebody else who says, hey, this is my guy. This is my guy. And then, okay, I'll funnel money into X, Y, and Z. And here's the problem. And, being the naive idealist, how much time have we spent on this? And we've highlighted a few of the Senate races, TJ. Not all of them. It'd be impractical to do so. But how much time have we spent on this sort of foolishness, and how much time have we spent on actually talking about how do we grow the economy? How do we draw in new business? How do we bring developers to West Virginia who want to build a factory? Or how do we responsibly handle data centers? Has that been the topic of discussion for the last 4 weeks, or has it been about these attack ads and the outside money that's trying to influence the state's elections?
And one of the reasons we don't talk about that is because it's hard.
Sure.
It's difficult. It's easier to throw political mud than to have an action plan around economic development. Lowest labor participation rate in America. Why aren't we talking about that one? I haven't seen one mailer. I hope somebody has. I haven't seen one mailer that talks about how to fix that. Have you?
No, I haven't. And this goes back to a topic we brought up with Stirewalt, which he pointed out 4 years ago, something like that. It's not about that's a persuasive argument, right? It's not about persuasion. It's about motivation. Can I get the people who will support my candidate to the polls? How do I motivate them? I'll be there to protect you when the liberals come for your guns. All right, appreciate it. Good to know. Glad you got my back. Who those are in West Virginia, I'm yet to find out. But it's good to know you got my back. All right, we're going to switch gears. Speaking about labor participation, do you know there's about 4,000 jobs available in the healthcare industry right now, today, in West Virginia? We'll talk about that among a couple of other topics when Jim Kaufman joins us. He's president of the West Virginia Hospital Association. It's Hospitals Week here. I think it's National Hospitals Week, actually, across the country. We'll talk to Jim on the side of the break. A plethora of texts to get to as well here on primary election eve. 800-765-TALKS, the phone number, 304-TALK, 304 is the text line. Dave and TJ from the Kanawha Insurance Studios. This is MetroNews Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 11:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Solango Law. Get results, not excuses.
We're tracking some rain showers right away this morning. They will clear out, though, expecting to see some sunshine as we head into the afternoon with some warmer temperatures on tap for Tuesday or cooler Thursday. It's a bit of a temperature roller coaster this week, but I want to talk about some of these showers that we're seeing there work through right away this morning into the early afternoon hours, lingering a bit longer for areas such as Bluefield, but there too should clear out and see sunshine by the afternoon. Then overnight tonight, spotty shower or two possible, clearing out by Tuesday morning. Should see plenty of sunshine throughout the course of the day. On Tuesday, going to be a nice day with accumulations from these showers that we'll see through 7 p.m. Wednesday, looking to stay, generally speaking, fairly light. Quick peek at your Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. We're watching for some unsettled conditions across Florida, not only for the day today, but as we head into midweek as well. But for us, those unsettled conditions are going to clear out quickly as we take a look at your Panhandle to Panhandle forecast, expecting to see sunshine. We're looking at a high temperature of 65 degrees in Wellsburg as we head into the day today with those sunny skies. A little bit of cloud cover lingering later for areas such as Petersburg today, 67 degrees. And then as we head to Ripley, 70 degrees today. Snowshoe at 55 degrees, watching for some isolated showers a little bit later on into the morning hours, along with Bluefield, seeing those showers a little bit later, but should clear out and see some sunshine as we head into the late afternoon. Then as we head into the next 7 days, a bit of a temperature roller coaster with some unsettled conditions for midweek.
This is Ben Solango with Solango Law. Solango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Solango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Solango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at Solango Law.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's a great point.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for 3 Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
Anchor Desk. I'm Chris Lawrence.
304 Talk 304 is the text line. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That is the phone number. You know, soon it'll be time to hit the rivers and lakes, get out and enjoy summer weather. It will be here eventually, so prepare now by checking out all the great deals on pontoon and fishing boats at Lou Wendell Marine Sales. You can check out the entire inventory at LouWendellMarineSales.com. Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. 304 Talk 304. Texter wants to know who's printing all this money for the elections. I want in. 3 things that describe this war with Iran: stupid, stupid, stupid. The incompetence and naivete of this administration is hurting the entire world. Strait of Hormuz should have been secured first. Texter wants to know, how does the spend compare to 2024? Talking about the primary elections. I don't know if anybody, I don't know if that's on your spreadsheet. Has anybody done a comparison between 24 and 22? 24 is not fair. That was a presidential election. 22 would be the one you want to go back and compare it to. But I don't know if anybody's done a comparison.
Yeah, the problem is there's never been this kind of dynamic.
Right.
So there's really nothing to compare it to. So we're talking about a sea change here moving forward and what it could be like in the future. I agree it'd be interesting to look at, but I can tell you without pulling the numbers, outside of the gubernatorial, I mean, there was a lot of out-of-state spending in the gubernatorial.
Sure. Yeah.
But outside of that, there's never been this kind of focus on the West Virginia legislature.
But for a House of Delegates race in Wood County or a state Senate race in Kanawha County, never.
$100,000?
Never seen this type of spending.
And they make what, $20,000 a year? 23 a year?
We'll get back to your text coming up in just a bit. 304 Talk 304 is the text line. 800-765-TALK, the phone number. It is National Hospitals Week, an opportunity to recognize the vital role hospitals play in our daily lives. Jim Kaufman is the president and CEO of the West Virginia Hospital Association. He joins us on MetroNews Talkline this morning. Jim, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Dave and TJ. Thanks for having me on, as always.
Absolutely. Good to talk to you. We often talk about hospitals and the healthcare industry being the backbone of many of our communities here in West Virginia. How are hospitals the backbone of communities across the state?
Well, when you think about it, I mean, hospitals are there. I mean, we have 54,000 caregivers. And as you just noted, we actually have more than 4,000 vacancies we can't fill. What's most important for the hospitals is they're really the pillar of their community. I mean, people are looking to them for not only life-saving care, but emergency situations, routine screenings. And not only do they help a community thrive, they help treat issues of sickness and help people try to make them healthier.
You talk about those 4,000 vacancies. I'm curious, ballpark for me. How many of those, if I'm someone listening today and I need employment, but maybe I'm not a nurse, maybe I'm not skilled in medicine, whatever the term should be, can I walk into a hospital? Is there an opportunity there for me today that I can take without any training?
Yeah, I mean, there's all kind of opportunities. That 4,000 jobs that you noted, that's basically in a handful of categories. That's nursing, respiratory therapy, imaging, and laboratory. That doesn't include all the other openings that we have, like in environmental services, security, data processing, budget. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities within hospitals. I often look at hospitals or little communities, little cities onto their own because they're operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. People don't think about the plumbers, the electricians that hospitals need because those buildings are complex systems that we need a lot of different people. And one of the things I really do appreciate about the hospitals, when you talk about the nurses, I mean, nurses is probably the backbone of the healthcare delivery system. And there's 3,000 vacant nurses positions here in West Virginia, 125,000 vacant positions nationwide. Hospitals are working with them, and this is when I applaud the governor and the legislature for workforce initiatives, where we're doing things like ladders in nursing, getting people involved in entry-level positions, providing opportunities for them to build their skills and grow their own economic opportunities and grow their own job and their own career futures. So there is a lot of opportunities in healthcare within the hospital space overall.
Jim Kaufman is joining us. He's president and CEO of the West Virginia Hospital Association. Jim, when we talk about healthcare and hospitals in West Virginia, we often talk about access and affordability. Let's talk about access first. There was recently an obstetrics unit, I believe, that got closed at Central West Virginia, South Central West Virginia. Are we taking steps forward in providing access to health care in West Virginia?
I mean, this is a great point. And actually, TJ, you had a great article this weekend that noted one of the issues that nobody's talking about is population loss. And when you really think about it, that ties into that OB issue. You can only have a thriving labor and delivery program when you have the number of moms delivering babies in a community. If you don't have enough volume, you can't support a quality program, less more cover the financials. I mean, if you think about it, a hospital staffing a labor and delivery unit 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. If you're only doing less than 300 deliveries, you're getting paid less than once a day. How do you cover your cost? Also, how do you recruit a provider, that OB, if they're doing less deliveries than they can do to maintain their own clinical skills? So this is one of our challenges, and I do give a lot of credit to the hospitals. They're trying to get very, very creative in partnering, sharing providers, using a telehealth and other services. So there are opportunities. But I'll be the first to say we also have our challenges, and one of the biggest challenges is the provider shortages that we face, not only here in West Virginia, but nationally. And then how do you recruit them in the rural communities? And then how do you have viable programs when you continue to face population loss?
So is that a problem that we can actually solve? I mean, I say all the time, it sounds more like a symptom than the problem, and you talk about with population loss. But Jim, just point blank, is that the way it's going to have to be? Because that's what the economics dictate. So we are going to have to think out of the box. We are going to have to realize that maybe you have to drive an hour, hour and a half away, whatever it may be, to have a baby. I mean, is that just the nature of where we are in West Virginia? And I hate this, but it is what it is.
And it's not just West Virginia. Those rural communities all across the country are also facing closures of labor and delivery units simply for the reason you noted, is there's not enough people to support that program. And when you have national shortages of providers, they're going to go to the larger areas. So when we start to talk about recruiting an OB for a program, I will say this, the younger physicians, they don't want to be there by themselves. So you usually aren't recruiting one OB for a program. You usually need a minimum of 3. So you're covering 24 hours, 7 days a week, and actually giving them a chance to have a work-life balance and get time off themselves. So this is a challenge, and this is an opportunity, and I do applaud the governor for his Rural Health Transformation Program and the work with the legislature. There are a lot of innovative thinking in those dollars, and how do we support transforming healthcare, recognizing that we do have the challenges, like you said, population loss is a challenge, and that's the new environment. But how do you get creative with telemedicine, supporting transportation services to help people get to appointments, not only primary care visits, but specialty visits, transports between facilities. So there has got to be some creative thinking that goes on. And that's where we look forward to working with the governor on implementation of that program of how do we transform rural health care.
Talking to Jim Kaufman, West Virginia Hospital Association President and CEO. This was a topic that came up a couple of years ago at the legislature, not so much last year before last. Certificate of need. Does the fact that we are still a certificate of need state when it comes to healthcare facilities, Jim, hold back that creativity, trying to find ways to reach people where they are?
No, I disagree. Actually, I think CON is an appropriate planning tool. I mean, West Virginia is one of 35 states that has certificate of need. And when you really are looking at this, goes back to like that OB and labor delivery service. West Virginia got rid of certificate of need for freestanding birthing centers several years ago. Since the repeal of that legislation, how many birthing centers have opened? 0. But in addition to looking at how do we get rid of some of those barriers, we also have to make sure we have a rational planning. So you're looking at like OB, how do you make sure you have enough patient population to support a quality program? Because you don't have multiple programs where you're basically pulling away from each other without having quality delivery services. And that's an important piece. And going back to your question about affordability, actually I think our CON laws are working well. When you look at West Virginia, according to national studies, we are the 10th lowest cost per hospital day. So that shows we're actually doing things to keep costs low, and that planning is a good planning tool and allows policymakers to look at things from a rational delivery standpoint, not just arbitrary knee-jerk reactions.
Jim, here's where I struggle with the whole con debate. I think it's putting the cart before the horse, because we talk about free market, and look, I am a capitalist. I think anyone that listens to this show understands I'm a capitalist first and foremost. But what I fail to be able to understand is how you can even talk about a free market when costs in terms of reimbursement from Medicare, Medicaid, what they are paying you and what they'll give you is lower than the cost you have. So you're providing services at a loss right off the bat. To me, you can't even talk about con until you fix that problem. Am I right or wrong?
I think you're exactly right. I mean, people don't realize that when we talk about, there's two issues on the CON debate. One, when you look at it, you actually have to have patient population to support programs, and that's where the rational planning comes in. When you look at the cherry picking, the free market arguments, if you're a strong believer in free market, you're going to maximize your return. That means you're not going to serve 3 out of 4 patients in West Virginia that are covered by Medicaid, Medicare, and PEIA that pay providers less than the cost of care. You're going to build your model going after that commercial population that pays above cost. Now, what happens is you also can cherry pick the cost of care because that freestanding imaging center is going to do it cheaper, but they're only operating Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. The hospital's got to operate 24/7 for that trauma that's coming in the door, that emergency patient that's coming in the door at 1 a.m. Nobody wants to do that, so you have to pay higher for your staff to be there. You have to have the equipment available regardless of how often it's being utilized. And a freestanding center that's only operating during normal business hours, they're cherry-picking not only the patients, but they're doing it cheaper because they're not operating 24/7. And people want to talk about free market. The first things that will disappear are the things that don't cover costs: labor delivery, mental health, substance abuse, emergency rooms. So those are the things that the community is always looking to for the hospital at all times. But if we don't have the ability to cross-subsidize, those programs can't exist.
Jim Kaufman joining us, President and CEO of the West Virginia Hospital Association. It is National Hospitals Week. Jim, we got about a minute. What do you want folks to know about the men and women who serve as physicians and nurses and PAs and janitors and everything in between that work at the hospitals?
The one thing I would ask all the listeners is we have 54,000 caregivers right here in West Virginia. They're your family, your friends, your neighbors that are taking care of your family, friends, and neighbors right here. There's been a lot of talk about hospitals, and even sadly, as we're talking about the elections, some have been attacking legislators supporting their hospital. This is one, remember, they're right here taking care of that community. So if you run into anybody that works for the hospitals, thank them for all that they do in taking care of West Virginians.
Jim Kaufman, President and CEO of West Virginia Hospital Association. It's National Hospitals Week. Jim, we always appreciate the conversation. Thanks for stopping by this morning.
Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Coming up, we'll get to some text, 304-TALK-304. Got $10? Then you've got a shot at $50,000. Grab the new scratch-off Lions Share, where your ticket could be a big-time winner. And watch for that 5 times multiplier because your prize could be 5 times sweeter. Get your chance to win the Lion's Share of the prize today at a West Virginia lottery retailer. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly.
For 30 years, Shelley Moore Capito has been in elected office. 30 years, and what do we have to show for it? More spending and D.C. dysfunction, and West Virginia left behind. Shelley Moore Capito is a career politician. I'm Tom Willis, a Green Beret, state senator, and a West Virginia business owner. I've served our state and this great country, and I'm ready to continue to serve West Virginia. Shelley answers to Washington insiders. I'll answer to you. West Virginia, it's time for a change. Early voting is happening now, and Election Day is May 12th. I'm Tom Willis, and I'm asking for your vote. I'm Tom Willis, and I approve this message, paid for by Tom Willis Victory.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Every day across West Virginia, healing happens here, where skilled hands and caring hearts save lives. West Virginia hospitals are more than places of care. They are lifelines for our communities. Employing nearly 54,000 people, hospitals power local economies and help communities not just survive, but thrive. During National Hospital Week, we recognize those who care for us all, because healing happens here, and its impact reaches everywhere. A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Stay ahead of West Virginia weather with Metro News Television. Now bringing you a new way to stay informed across the Mountain State. Get updates daily at 9, noon, and 4. From headlines and precipitation to severe weather threats and highs and lows. See conditions from panhandle to panhandle and check travel with the Fly CRW forecast. Our meteorologists are on your screens and on Talkline, Midday, Hotline, and Sportsline, keeping you up to date. Metro News Television weather. Accurate, local, and always on.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Kanawha GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Kanawha GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
304 Talk 304 is the text line, and 800-765 Talk the phone number. Texter wants to know, how many places will West Virginia baseball, now number 15, jump in the ratings? The Mountaineers swept Kansas over the weekend. I have no idea how far they will jump. I do know this. They're just a game out of first in the Big 12 standings with the final weekend of the regular season coming up. I believe TCU comes to Morgantown this weekend. They'll jump probably a couple of spots. Big weekend for the Mountaineers. Herd softball got a bid to the NCAA tournament. They'll play Arizona out of the Big 12 in the Durham Regional, which starts next weekend as well. There's your sports update for the day.
I could use a good baseball game right about now. Sit down, have a brat, beverage of choice.
TJ, it got a little better for us over the weekend. The Reds broke the losing streak, which was up to 8. Beat the Astros in back-to-back games. So maybe not all is lost in Cincinnati after all.
Well,
By the way, let me tell a quick story on my mother because she thought this was hilarious. Talking to her yesterday on Mother's Day, and she says to me, "Who was the funny girl you had on the show?"
Funny girl.
And I said, "Funny girl? Who? What are you talking about?" "Yeah, the other day you had this funny girl on the show." And I mean, "Oh, do you mean Amelia?" Very nicely, West Virginia Watch.
Okay.
And she says, "Yeah, she was hilarious, making fun of your Cincinnati Reds. That was hilarious. You should have her on more often." All right, Mom. Dooley, I'll take that under advisement.
Lady of many talents is Amelia Knisley.
Well, apparently she's a bigger Amelia fan than she is a Dave fan, is what I got from that conversation. Have her on more often, she says. She's funny. All right. All right, we'll see about that. Amelia will never be on the show again. 304 Talk 304. Dave and TJ. This morning on Facebook, I saw the governor made a comment that shows displeasure for Senator Deed sponsoring SJR 19, which would have required you to be born in West Virginia to be governor. I understand the governor being upset with Senator Deed sponsoring this resolution, but what I don't understand is why he hasn't mentioned it all primary season. Instead, the governor has mentioned the need to get rid of rhinos. Senator Deeds is far from being an actual rhino. Judging off the governor's standards, do I classify as a rhino? Since I voted for another candidate in the 2024 Republican primary for governor, LOL, says the texter. He made the post. You can go read the post. I would advise against posting on social media for any politician. Just Dave's advice there. I don't know. I don't know what qualifies as a rhino or a dino or anything these days. It's all in the eye of the beholder. 304 Talk, 304. We got a break. We got to take another break. One more break. We'll be back to wrap things up. It's primary election eve. This is Talkline from the Kanawha Insurance Studios.
Hi, this is Thornton Cooper. I'm a native and resident of West Virginia, a proud Democrat and a candidate for the United States Senate. My priorities are 1, to raise the basic federal minimum wage to $15 per hour, 2, to expand health care to Medicare for all, and 3, to end Trump's war on Iran. To learn more, visit thorntoncooper.com, and please vote for Cooper for Senate. I approve this message. Paid for by Cooper for Senate.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Everywhere you look, people are supporting Shelley Moore Capito for Senate. President Trump has endorsed her. So has West Virginians for Life. The National Shooting Sports Foundation named her Legislator of the Year. And she's backed by workers, small business owners, and Republicans across the Mountain State. Now it's your turn. Vote early through May 9th or on Election Day, May 12th.
I'm Shelley Moore Capito, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Capito for West Virginia.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Metro News election night coverage across the Metro News Radio Network. Many of these same Metro News Radio affiliates will have our coverage starting at 7:06 tomorrow night. We'll go to midnight or later if needed. Hopefully not later. Hopefully we get that all wrapped up. But we will have statewide results on state Senate races, House of Delegates races, U.S. Senate races. Of course, the contested races there between The Republicans, Democrats, and the U.S. House. I'm going to leave anything out. Supreme Court justices will have all the results, reactions as well throughout the night. 7:06 until midnight. It'll be me, TJ, Jeff Jenkins, Brad McElhenney will be by. Coach Hunter will be keeping an eye on numbers. Hoppy is going to hang around for a little while until his bedtime, I'm told. And
you have a warm cocoa and an Afghan and a rocking chair.
We'll have some warm milk waiting on him here at the studios for him. Well, Afghans over there in the corner next to the rocker. But we'll have coverage 7:06 until midnight across, again, the Metro News Radio Network. And you can watch our coverage as well on the Metro News TV app, YouTube, and Facebook Live tomorrow evening. Let me see here. 304 Talk, 304. Oh, by the way, TJ flagged a quick note. Trump's going to suspend the federal gas tax for a period of time.
That's what he says.
Okay.
18.4 cents a gallon of gas, 24.4 cents for a gallon of diesel. Here's the problem. It takes an act of Congress to do, Mr. President.
Well, that hasn't stopped him yet.
No. Cost about $500 million a week, according to CBS News.
All right. So there's that. 304 Talk, 304. All right, we're out of time. We'll get to more text messages coming up on tomorrow's show. It's Election Day. Polls open at 6:30 tomorrow morning. For the entire crew, I'm Dave. We'll talk to you tomorrow. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.